I've made 3 different emails for the Harry Potter Wizarding World website to check my Patronus, and every fucking time I get a cat.
You have, and this is an understatement, far too much free time. Because the things you tell me you do, like for example, when we went for your anniversary and we all came along, and you chose at your anniversary to buy those little like popping things you throw at the ground. Snappers. And then you spent the entire time at your anniversary just handing them out to people. So it looked like you were just giving it little bags of drugs. And you'd see staff looking at you being like, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah, and then I'd show the staff what it was.
But yeah, you'd also be wandering down like the corridors. And at one point you came to our room and you just threw ones at the door as like a manager or something of the hotel just wandering by. And you're just kind of looking and laughing. You're like, who cares? I could just do whatever
I want.
But this is how you spend your life, and it's too much chaos for me.
What? I live my life on knowing I'm the main character. I just have big main character energy.
Yeah, and I have leave me alone character energy.
You're like in an anime, your glasses would always be covered in light, and you'd always be looking down like that.
Aren't those like the bad guys?
Yeah, they're the mentals. They're the ones that get rapey in the hentais I read.
Okay.
It's meandering movies. It's meandering movies. It's meandering movies. So won't you lend an ear?
Hello and welcome to the Meandering Movie Podcast. We're back for another, I was going to say another week. We're back.
Yeah, those were the old days where we used to record week to week. That's long gone.
We're back for another episode. I am your main host, Gary. I'm joined today by our beautiful, sexy, gorgeous, quiet, but occasional audio boy.
What up? Woo! 2 episodes in a row. It's happening. He's back.
And Gav's here.
Oh, and I am the crumbs of regret on your tummy when you're eating crisps and you've got a little podge, Gavin Stewart.
Top crisp of the moment from Gavin.
I've been having a lot of those ones that are airy, like popped things, popped crisps.
Pop chips.
Pop chip things, yeah, but not the pop chips,
but not the actual pop chips.
Because I go to like Lidl and stuff, where it's like the off-brandy, like
other popped chips are available.
Other pop chips are available. Sponsor us if you wish.
That's what they're called in Aldi. Popped chips.
No, they're titled "Other Pop Chips are available." You go to Lidl and everything should just be titled "Other variants of this are available."
You can go elsewhere and buy better quality. It's all the same though. Did you see that picture of somebody who complained to Waitrose because their vegetable packet? They were like, "Hi, I don't want these vegetables because they've got a little sticker on it." And now Waitrose were obviously like, "Yeah, sorry about that."
Yeah, most of the shit is just like it's made
all
in
the same.
the one place, labeled differently, sent out. And then Lidl is just smart enough to price it so much cheaper than everywhere else. And I will continue to go there because it's. I mean, here's the one thing about Lidl. I love this movie podcast. We're finally back, and I'm talking about Lidl. And I've said this before. Lidl is structured as if an alien came to Earth, walked around one supermarket once, and thought, I can make a supermarket.
I can do this
because you've got like
veggies at the front. Straight into meat and cold food.
And then kettles and duvets.
No, the back wall. Then you're into alcohol. And the alcohol section in an Aldi and Lidl is fucking massive. It goes on for days.
Also, I hope you haven't heard of any of these brands before, because fuck knows what they are.
Yeah, it's also like the same alien was like, right, I need stock for my new Humon supermarket. I've got my replicator. And I bought one of everything from Tesco, but unfortunately my replicator is 70% functional. So I'll just put this can of Tennants in and it's got, Tronants.
I mean, yeah, literally, like you go to Lidl, they have iron brew, but it's just spelled iron and brew. And I'm like, fair fucking play to you. I respect it. I'm here for it. It's like, do you want a jammy Dodger? Here's a dodgy jam roll instead. Like, have it. Here's
a crummy jam biscuit. It's so good.
I love it. It's you'll get lost. You won't know what anything is. You'll somehow come out with more things than the money you spent, and
including a cactus and a chainsaw.
And you're like, I have to come back.
And it's good. Like you said, the pricing's cheap, and that brings us somehow. Let's tie it in. That brings us to our topic of the day. We're talking about Cineworld. The big news being that Cineworld is has filed for bankruptcy.
Cineworld has filed for bankruptcy, but Cineworld has filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy in the US, which means that they can still operate as a business while they're trying to sort out their financial issues. So Cineworld isn't technically going anywhere, but should it?
and that brings, full circle, brings us to, is the price of the cinema, I mean, it's a whole conversation. Let's just talk about cinema full stop.
Yeah.
I think the first stopping point here, I know you've written an entire episode structure and you said, do you need it? And I said no. And look at me pulling out subjects from the top of my head.
But here's the important thing, is I have the structure
just in case.
See that? Listen to that.
So structured. So structured.
Have a phone.
Fuck your structure. I'm going first. Is the price of cinema too high? That's going to be the biggest point of potential contention, right? That is the biggest argument. And the thing is, it's the biggest argument, and it's not like that's a recent thing. With inflation and the wages going nowhere, it's not like now people are saying cinema's expensive. My entire life, my mum has been like, we'll go cinema and see that new film as the rarest of rare treats, because my earliest memories of going to the cinema are my mum and dad saying things like, we could go. It's pretty bloody expensive for a ticket, isn't it?
I mean, that point, yes, that's definitely going to be point number one. Point number two, and this is something that's kind of a post-COVID thing, which is something we've been wanting to talk about for a while, is there reason to go to the cinema anymore as well? Because one, it's expensive, and is the movie you're going to see worth spending the money on?
Yeah.
And these are the 2 points we're going to kind of dance around because of Cineworld filing for bankruptcy. And all three of us in this room, all are Cineworld Unlimited card holders. So
I'm a Cineworld Black.
I am also a black card
They should
holder.
really add another tier.
I got it black. I got it black. I got it back. It's fine.
They should add another tier, the platinum tier.
Why?
Well, because I feel like it
But here's
would
the
make me feel like, oh wow, I'm a platinum member.
Sure, but here's the problem.
Here's the bonus of platinum: they give you a 1-seat buffer.
Because I was going to say Cineworld have nothing left to offer, but if that's what they offer, I will take it. Because, for example, we're all Cineworld card holders, unlimited card holders, which
Black
means we have,
card holders,
which makes the spending
better than the red card.
Yes,
if you're a red card holder,
you're inferior.
Turn off the podcast now.
I don't want to know you.
but it's like, we have the benefit of we can just book a film and go and see it. But if you're going to
which gives us the benefit of literally seeing any old shit.
Yes.
And if I do go and see a film that I have fucking hated, I'm thinking of you, Mortal Engines. I at least get to come out of it and be like, that was fucking awful. I've lost an hour of my life, 2 hours.
Yeah.
But at least I didn't spend the grand sum of 20 quid going to waste 2 hours of my life.
Yeah, remember there's been
what a
times,
slap in the face.
There's been times where I've had friends coming with me, but I've not had like a friend's card to use, so I've had to pay for a ticket, and it's almost like £10-12 sometimes, depending what day, depending what tier of ticket, depending if they charge you 75p extra for booking online. Why am I spending an extra? Why? What? It's called a convenience charge. Where's the convenience? Because I've booked it online? That's bullshit. Why do you need me to? Also, if you go in to book on the terminal, 6 of the 8 terminals out of order. Where's the convenience, Cineworld?
Where's the money going for Cineworld? But yeah, so like, right, let's go through it. Point number one is I think the biggest problem is that it's fucking expensive.
It's far too expensive.
And this is Cineworld going bankrupt, but it's not a Cineworld problem.
No.
Odeon is expensive as hell. Showcase Cinema, which we don't have a lot of in the UK, but
I know of one.
there's one in Glasgow, and I think there's another somewhere in Scotland. But like, their tickets aren't quite as mental, but everything else about that cinema is crazy. But they also sell hot food. Like, you can go into a Showcase Cinema and get like a burger and chips, and then from the cinema stand, and then go into your film. So then their cinemas stink. I hate Showcase.
I can't. The last time I went to Showcase, and you're going to love this, was I went with my brother to see a Star Trek documentary, and that was in maybe 2019, 2020 that I went to see that.
They're weird. They Showcase, like, one in Glasgow and maybe one, like 2 in all of Scotland, I think. And they get such weird showings. Occasionally you get an advert for like, would you like to see a triple bill of all the Terminator movies followed by a triple bill of Rambo? And I'm like, oh, fuck yeah, I'd go see that. It's like, cool, Showcase, one showing, 3 o'clock in the morning start. What the fuck?
Here's the thing with Showcase. There's so few of them. They're desperate for anything. And it's a cinema that when you walk into it, because I used to go to a Showcase a lot when I was a kid, because it was like the nearest one for where we lived. We'd jump in the car. But when I went back to it in 2019, it hadn't changed at all. It was still trapped in like the late 90s, early 2000s with its weird like neon lighting. None of it worked anymore because the bulbs had all died. And who's going to replace it? Because they don't have the money to do it. The seating structure was that of like an old movie amphitheater kind of place where like you've got 4 seats each side and then just all the seats in the middle, and there's no leg room, there's no back to the seats, and there's sometimes a cup holder. Sometimes. It's just like no one to showcase.
No man's land of cinemas.
Whereas you look at it compared to View,
But
Odeon,
cheaper
Cineworld.
tickets.
Yes, they're cheap, but also the clientele. And I don't want to be...
View's the cheapest at the moment, right? View tickets are £6 odd, £7.
It depends on what View you go to. So, like, if you go to the View in the city centre here in Glasgow, it's $8.99 for a ticket, but you get a recliner seat with a tray table.
This is a hot take. I'm not for it.
The recliner.
I'm not for the reclining seat in the tray table. I'm not for... because, and this is a me thing, right? This is more a me thing. And it's kind of the clientele, what you're saying as well. But I can't sit through a film... Unless the film is something I'm really into seeing, but I can't sit through a film that I'm kind of half interested in and stay awake now. I'm too old and I'm too tired all the time.
I'm so glad you've said this.
Getting a reclinable seat and a little table to hold so I don't have to panic about my popcorn spilling and my drink going anywhere, and being able to be like, this film's kind of shit. Put that there.
I went to...
no wonder no one's got anything good to say about film anymore, because you can just fucking recline back if it's shit and turn off.
Me and my girlfriend went to see How They Run recently in View Cinema with a recliner seat. And here are the 3 experiences I remember from See How They Run. 1, I almost fell asleep because I was quite bored in the movie and I was quite tired. 2, my girlfriend looking over thinking I was asleep because I was making this sort of breathing I make when I'm asleep. 3, being so bored by the movie that at one point I was pushing the seat up and down and staring at her and smiling weirdly, going like, and she's like, what the fuck are you doing? Because I was that bored by the movie. I can't be trusted with a recliner seat because 1, I will fall asleep, and 2, I will act like a child when I'm not asleep.
That's us. We like film. Now imagine being in a cinema full of children and people that don't really give a fuck, and teens, and my mum who can't stay awake through anything, nothing. Like it's
fell asleep during your birth. That was the most mental one.
It's just crazy. That,
like Miss Copeland, the head's here.
She's out. It's just crazy. Yeah. So I'm not for it. Anyway, I'm not for it. But general cinema tickets are bloody expensive, and they always have been.
Yeah.
And it is that kind of sunk cost fallacy. Roller coasters, theme parks have the same problem. That, like, cinema is obviously making enough money for them to charge that price that they think it's okay. They're getting enough business at whatever price point they're at. And let's, like, Cineworld now, £12 a ticket.
Yeah.
Not including snacks.
Which are extortionate.
Also, you're looking at
and
another,
also
another £6-7 for a medium drink popcorn combo.
Yeah.
So let's just, for everything going forwards, actually, let's just standardize this. Ticket, drinking a popcorn. Anything we talk about, any cinema, let's just keep it at that, because that's like I would say, a pretty standard outing for...
How about we use
cinema
Audio
trip.
Boy in the corner over there? Can you try and research a quick breakdown of ticket, popcorn, drink at View, Cineworld and Odeon? You get on that, we'll keep talking.
We'll
Thanks.
keep talking. Cheers.
Am I getting paid as a research assistant here?
I'll buy you a pizza later on from Co-op.
That's not bad. That's not bad. Yeah,
Well,
so
Co-op
like-
as well, so that's expensive.
So that's the standard thing. Cineworld, I'm pretty sure it's about 20 quid. Maybe just under, but it's about 20 quid. I have the black card as well, so I get a discounted price.
Yeah,
on
we get
shit.
like 25% off.
So if you're
food
not
and drink
getting
or something.
that,
Yeah.
Jesus. So they must be getting enough business for it to keep getting that, like to keep it at that price point. But surely, if they made it 10 quid all in, £12. Let's be a bit more like, a bit money. £12 for a cinema ticket, a drink, and a popcorn, all medium sized.
Yeah.
With the choice to upgrade for another £2. £14. That's £6 cheaper than what you're getting it for a medium now. Surely they'd make more money. Surely more people would be like, I'll take the fucking... Like, £12 for me, and then kids' tickets, and we can share a popcorn.
Yeah, I feel like now more than ever, again, I'll probably say this statement multiple times during this episode, but post-COVID, they need to have brought in reasons to get people back into the cinema that wasn't just the movies.
Yeah.
Because as we've seen, no movies have come out that have really. There's been like one or two that to pull the people back in, like your Top Gun Mavericks or your next Marvel thing. But there's not those big movies out there to bring the people in. So the cinemas have to be like, let's give them reasons. Let's give them monetary reasons to be like, do you know what? Yeah, we'll go see whatever the fuck movies out, because it's only going to cost me
Justice League, the Super Pets.
Yeah, DC League of Super Pets, which Phil and I saw in the cinema, and we'll talk about in the future why we saw that in the cinema. That's a tease for something. But it's just like they have to give reasons. And Cineworld, I would say View's been quite good at trying to
bringing the price down.
They bring the price down. They've got those kind of seats. They've got the experience. It's quite nice. Cineworld, for example, me and Audio Boy go to the one in Glasgow, Renfrew Street.
I'm Silverburn. For anyone that listens to this, I'm Glasgow Silverburn.
I can't speak to Silverburn.
Can't believe you dox our cinema whereabouts like that. This is a public forum. People could just find us there now.
Okay, but here's what won't make any difference, and because we've realised this, when it comes to Glasgow Renfrew Street, that used to be like one of the big pride and joys of Cineworld. Like, it's one of the tallest cinemas in Europe, and like we've got the VIP section upstairs,
and it used to be awesome.
And we've got the super screen. Now that cinema, dog shit awful. Yeah. Every single screen either has dead pixels, there's marks all over the
lighting's moved or is slightly fucked so that it's shining on the screen.
Yep. 3 times I've gone to the cinema this year at that Cineworld, and they forgot to turn the lights off. Why have you got a bird on a skateboard? Oh, I didn't know you got a new tattoo.
I'll show you my other one in after the
We'll put it up on the social medias for the people to look at later on. Follow us, meanderingmoviepodcast@gmail.com and such things. I'll
follow us at our email address.
I don't know.
You fucking tit.
At meanderingpod on Twitter. Follow us. What was it? Yeah, so it's just like all the screens are busted. The seats are old. They're so uncomfortable now. And also, bring back the clientele scenario. They fucking let anyone in at this point. Because I have not had an experience at the cinema that hasn't had kids throwing bottles, people chatting through the entire film, rubbish just being thrown around.
People being on their phones.
People just being on their phone. Just awful experience from when I get there to when I leave. Like, see when Cineworld sends me that email of like, hey, how did we get on? I'm so tempted just to like phone someone there and be like, it was awful.
It's terrible.
Like Phil and Audio Boy and I went to see Top Gun Maverick.
Yep.
He's so mad about this.
During the film, there were people talking all over the gaff. There was a group of kids up the back throwing shit. And then 35 minutes into the lights hadn't gone off as well, so we had to get someone to turn the lights off. 35 minutes into the film, froze. Film just stopped playing, and I just turned to Audio Boy and I went, we're leaving. Like, this is shit. Like, everyone's talking, this is a shit experience. And so we just left, and I came back like the week after to see the film again.
And this is another interesting point, actually. There are premium times to go and see a film. You either see a film within 3 days of it launching, and you get all the people that want to be there to see the film, or you go at the very end of its run and you get the cinema to yourself. That's maybe like a week and a half worth of time that it's worth going to see a film and you'll get to experience it properly. Everything in the middle is what you've just experienced. What you've just described.
It's just the Wild West of, am I going to get to see and hear this film, or am I going to have to listen to the people behind me talk about the film?
Am I going to have to watch this guy on fucking WhatsApp, Twitter in front of me, like checking his phone? It's mental. It's so fucking annoying that, you know, if you do go and complain, there's no point complaining. You have to take it, like you say, the Wild West, you have to take it into your own hands. Me and Caboose are very much like, the moment I see a phone, I give him a minute, because I'm like, you know what, maybe it's an emergency. I'm not gonna put that away.
I mean, I'm of the argument, if you have an emergency, maybe don't, like, if you
leave, totally.
Yeah.
So, but I give them if someone's got it down very low and they kind of give it the check on the side of their leg and they put it back down, I'm like, all right, fair enough. And then if they do it again, that will start bugging me. Third time is when I'll start saying something. But if somebody's sitting there, just like scroll, me and Caboose have just taken it into our hands. They're like, excuse me, can you turn that off? Thank you. Excuse me, can you please stop talking? I can't hear the film. Thank you. Don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Because, and we learned how to do this, because going out and speaking to the Cineworld staff,
they don't.
And if you're a Cineworld staff for listening to this, I bear you no ill will. I know that's not.
Oh yeah, we have nothing against you. Nothing against, we know you're underpaid and your job is shit.
Exactly. This isn't a you problem. But it's like, you have no, like Jennifer Connelly in The Labyrinth, you have no power over them. You don't, because what are you going to do? Excuse me, can you turn that off? Yeah, mate, no worries. And then you walk out because you can't stand there and watch somebody watch a film. I understand that. You have to go and fill the popcorn or do anything else. And the moment you leave the cinema screen, I'm just going to make my phone out again. They don't give a fuck. Like, why would they? Because you're I don't know. It's just infuriating. It's a bad experience.
And that goes on to the people who don't have like the unlimited cards, who like it's the Thursday night and them and the family or them and their partner,
and they just have
chosen like, hey, let's go to the cinema. We'll watch the new big movie that's out, like Black Adam's.
Let's just say they've bought tickets to see how they run.
Yeah.
Because they've seen an advert. The advert looked good. The trailer's designed to look good. And then, unbeknownst to them, how could you possibly know? It's not a great film.
It's
you sit
so
there,
boring. It's just...
And yeah, I get it. You want to go on your phone because the film that you have, your boyfriend or girlfriend or partner or mum or whoever it is that's dragged you to the cinema has picked a film that is, unfortunately, a stinker. And you don't want to leave because you have paid £20. You've paid more than £20 to sit there and fucking... to get let into the golden halls of Cineworld, and you're not going to sit there. So what do? You just board out your tits? Yeah, you go on your phone. I get it. I do understand it. It annoys the fuck out of me, but I understand.
But then also the other point is, say you've spent that money, you've finally gone there with someone. It's your evening plan. We'll go to the cinema. We'll go for food. We'll go for food. We'll go to the cinema. You get there, and then you just have arseholes behind you talking. You have a screen that's like got a blue weird tinge to it, or a weird stain in one of the corners, or dead pixels in the other corner.
Screen 3 Silverburn. I can literally name Screen 3 Silverburn has a dead pixel, does my fucking head in. Screen 7 has a blue tinge, bang in the middle, does my fucking head in. Screen 14 on the other side, sound is a mess. Don't know what's wrong in that one, but the sound, the Silverburn cinema, I can list you off screen by screen.
Hey, they just got that new
with
laser IMAX screen.
Oh, fucking great. Which one is it? Silverburn Super Screen audio is off. It's not equalized
The audio
properly.
Super Screen in Renfrew is also off.
But it's better.
It is better, but
it's still a bit funny. But the Super Screen at Renfrew Street, you can see the fucking split in their dual projectors.
Yeah.
You can see the line in the middle of the screen where it's a pixel. It's you know what I mean? It's not a lot. But it's like 1 pixel off. But that single pixel is enough when you're sitting over to us and be like, why? Why is it wrong?
And if you're one of us who goes to the cinema a lot, you notice these things.
Of course you do. Like, if you're watching a film and it's off kilter by a single pixel, unfortunately, it doesn't matter what, you're going to notice that.
Yeah, when it comes to the screens of Renfrew, I can name the ones that are broken as well, because it's all of them. it's every
one of the fucking
single
things.
screen in Renfrew has something wrong. Because, and this is another factor of, again, post-COVID, the lack of money, them trying to make money back, is that cinema, because we go to it quite a lot, has fallen into absolute disrepair. There's no money to fund it, to fix it, or to give the staff the money that they're owed to do the job that they're there to do. So it's just like the entire place.
It's a nightmare.
It's genuinely like I sometimes I turn to Audio Boy after going to that cinema, and I'm just like, it was awful. It's like, but how was the film? I'm like, I don't really know, because the experience there was just so unpleasant.
Yeah.
Like,
you've put your phone down, Audio Boy, so I assume we have prices.
Sure, what do you want to know first?
Cinemode? Was I right with my £20 average?
For a regular adult ticket, £14.
What? Holy shit.
Yeah.
And then with a medium popcorn drink combo, that's about £7. I'm pretty sure. 14 quid.
yeah,
I'm not sure about combinations. I can tell you that a small popcorn is $4.45 and a small drink is $3.25.
So £8. So £22 for the smallest denomination of food and drink and a ticket.
and so that's one. So if you're going with a partner or a family,
Holy shit.
yes.
No wonder people aren't going. We're in like a cost of living crisis, and you've got £22?
But then who are the people that are spending that money and then just talking and shouting and kicking up?
Very true.
I would like to interject here and say that I'm personally not the biggest fan of this, for lack of a better term, gatekeeping as to who is and is not allowed to attend the cinema.
Oh, I am. If you're a person who talks, brings your phone out, or causes any disruption during the movie, Go away.
They're the
Don't
rules
want you
of the
there.
cinema. I don't mind. I have no problem. Anyone can go cinema. Anyone can go cinema.
Anyone can go to the cinema.
But you follow the rules of the cinema.
You.
It's no, but,
It's
no,
the
but you're
cinema-
laughing for. You go listen.
It's the
If I
cinema
went to the
etiquette.
zoo, if we went to the zoo. And then we went into the zoo, and the zookeeper was like, right, you've got your tickets for the zoo. The only rule is don't get into the animal enclosures. And then me and you got in, and I was like, hey, Phil, watch this. Hop the fucking fence. And you were like, Gary, what are you doing? And be like, what, man? I paid my money. I can do what I want. Would you be okay with that, or would you be annoyed at me?
That's a good point.
Say someone goes to the zoo and then they just start throwing things at the animals. Are you going to be okay with that person going
Well,
to the
there's
zoo?
no rule against that.
He's got you there in the cinema. You were like,
The only two rules
The
at the
advert comes up at the cinema.
No talking.
Do not talk, and don't be on your phone. Nowhere does it say don't throw popcorn and drinks at the screen.
I'm pretty sure it's.
He's got you on the fucking short and curlies, mate.
But here's the thing. Sure, there's the rules that go up on the screen, but there's the unspoken rules of a cinema.
It's madness.
And there's the unspoken rule of a zoo, which is don't throw things at animals. I hope, Philip, you're in agreement. We should throw things at animals. He's not nodding.
Yeah,
I think Phil wants to throw things
I
at
don't know.
animals.
You're a bit of an animal sometimes, and I like to throw things at you.
But yeah, we're not gatekeeping who goes cinema. We're just saying
No.
that if you go cinema and you are not going to follow the fucking rules of the cinema house, why are you there? Why pay for your ticket to then not enjoy the experience?
Because here's the
Yes,
biggest
silence. That's what I thought.
Yeah, you piece of shit. You know nothing.
I want to keep my participation in this to a minimum, so I'm just not going to respond
Why,
to that.
you scared?
Right. Sorry. We're getting slightly not off track. We're starting to harass.
I want to follow on a point from what Audio Boy was saying there about the gatekeeping. This isn't gatekeeping from us. What we want is we want the cinemas to survive and thrive because we love movies, we love going to the cinema, and we love the experience of it. We wouldn't have we wouldn't have a movie podcast if we didn't love movies and going to the cinema.
Yeah.
It's just for me personally, since coming back from COVID, the experience of going to the cinema I don't enjoy anymore.
Has been a negative,
And that's both because
mostly negative one.
the experience in the cinemas, because they are underfunded and they cannot have that experience they used to have, and two, the movies that are coming out are just not that fucking good.
Underfunded. They're not like a fucking public health service.
I know, but you know what I
They're
mean?
underfunded because they're capitalist bastards that have outpriced themselves from the fucking average human.
I mean, it's like before COVID, they could do as they please because we had the end games and we had these massive tentpole movies, and they could hold other chains ransom with the amount of money they were going to bring in. Post COVID, no one has that anymore.
Yeah.
Now it's like you're playing by the experience that you offer at the cinema, not the movies anymore. Because other than Spider-Man: No Way Home and Top Gun: Maverick, what were the big movies that made monies for these cinemas? There wasn't any. So now they're based on the experience. And for me, the experience of going to the cinema is awful. And that's why...
Because you're going to the wrong cinemas, I feel, for the experience that you want.
who's
I would say-
gatekeeping now, Phil?
I would say, I feel like this isn't a stretch to say that Cineworld is the Weatherspoons of cinema.
That's true, yeah.
But you want to go
Yeah, but what
somewhere
are the
where people are
options?
paying attention, you go to somewhere like GFT.
But does the GFT show
It's a
everything?
registered charity as well.
Does it show everything?
It doesn't show necessarily all of your big blockbuster movies. This is also maybe a potential reason to talk about all of the closure of the Edinburgh International Film Festival and everything that's happened with that.
Like, I am with you, mate. Like, go to a different cinema, absolutely. But then if the GFT is not even showing every film, like we're at
It costs money.
no, I get that, but like. Exactly, it's a problem. That's what we're talking about. But I have a solution. I have a couple of solutions.
Oh, God.
To the cinema problem. One,
Does anyone involve you being naked?
no,
Okay,
thank
good.
God, not this time. One is my Cineworld Platinum. Like you rank up your unlimited card. You get your 1 seat buffer, right? And that's a bit mental. Like, but your cinema wouldn't like it because they're gonna lose potential. My second, and this is arguably the better solution. You can vote on a 2-seat area around you, right? You're allowed to vote on any seat around you, and everyone has to have it's not a paid for card, but you have to sign up for some sort of Cineworld cinema going card, right? And really, if it was down to me, it would be not just for Cineworld. You would just have a cinema card that you scan when you go every cinema. It's tracked across
Like a
the
library
nation.
card.
A bit like
I was
a
going to say
library
like a Costco card.
card. So it's tracked no matter which cinema you go to. Now,
It's starting to sound like a totalitarian regime.
No,
what
it's
Gary's
not,
about
it's
to
not.
build here.
When you're in the cinema, you gain natively. You just gain a point for going to the cinema if nobody votes against you. If nobody fucking attacks you,
This is like that Black Mirror episode with a social media app where they live.
a little bit, but you can only do 2 seats. But within those 2 seats, if somebody's on their phone or throwing popcorn or talking, you can just anonymously E7. That's that seat there. E7, eating popcorn, like not eating popcorn too loud, talking and on phone during cinema, and that person gets detracted points. Now, that's phase 1. Everyone's going to have a hidden cinema ranking. I say hidden because this brings us into phase 2 because it's kind of hidden. If you're a good, average, normal going cinema goer who enjoys cinema, you will always get the good seats because the good seats in the middle of the cinema are reserved for people with a high enough score.
Oh God.
This is that Black Mirror episode.
It's not Black Mirror.
It
it's
is.
like- and then down the front of the screen, the first 3 rows, no man's land. You fucking put a soundproof bubble over that. You put in the kids. You put in the baby screaming. You put in the fucking phone goers. You put in, you know what I mean? All the dickheads down there. And then the back of the cinema, that's if you've had a few minor infractions, but you're climbing back
You
up.
had a few minor breaks.
That's you're on the way back up. You get the back of the cinema seats because if you're going to go on your phone at the back of the cinema, oh well, minor.
If you're in the last row,
But you know, maybe you're not that. You know, you're climbing the point system
Yep.
back up. But it's a tiered structure. Middle, actually, put the soundproof bubble over the middle seats. Let the people at the back get the sound of the nightmare children at the front. Because it's still punishment. You only get the good seats. That's how we fix cinema.
What you have described is a trickle-down economy.
right?
It's no, but it's not. It's not a trickle down because you're only going to affect. You can only affect the seats around you, right? You can only affect. Well, it's a good system.
I just want to, for the listeners out there, when Gary and I were talking about this episode, we had the idea of how would we solve the problem. I didn't realize Gary's solution was going to be a fascist regime.
It's not a fascist regime. It's brilliant. It's like you said. It's self-administered
Will there
punishment.
be a picture of you above the screen and everyone must hail the leader before they watch the film?
How I just.
That
It's a
isn't
good system.
self-administered.
It is self-administered.
What you're doing right now when you're telling people off,
Yeah.
that's self-administered.
Right. Well, I want to self-administer them down the fucking tiers.
Instead of us watching Pepsi Max trailers, we watch videos of the glorious state and all the military go by as Gary just hails them all. This is what Gary's...
That's a good system. That would fix the entire problem. Are you telling me you wouldn't like that system?
Right. Here's the thing. For me, obviously, I would...
It would work great. We
But-
would be in the premium seats, soundproof bubble
Uh-huh.
with the leg room,
Yeah.
surrounded
Uh-huh.
by people who are also in
Yeah.
the premium seats, soundproof bubble. All of us just sitting watching the film
But
quietly.
a lot of this makes me deeply uncomfortable.
We would be in the right, and then everyone else outside the bubble. And if you fucking get enough points doxed off you, no more cinema. You're out.
I just didn't see
And
that.
then maybe there's a whole new cinema chain opens up, 0 Point Cinema, right? Fuck it, we'll accept anyone. They can all go there. Fuck them. I don't give a shit.
It's just called 0 Point Cinema.
0 Point Cinema, and they can all go there and they can throw popcorn at each other, and it can be a fucking
Why?
mosh pit. Watch. Go watch your movie. I don't care. I'll be in my good
It's
seats.
just a mosh pit as people watch DC League of Super Pits.
Just
just phones, people just got the SOS like lights flashing in their phone.
fuck it.
Audio. If people could see Audio Boy's face right now,
Are you telling me that wouldn't fix the cinema problem?
No.
It absolutely would.
because here's the next question I have. So we introduced this fascist regime idea to the cinema. Why? What says it's going to stay localized to the cinema? Why are next we're going to have like a 0 Point Sainsbury's or something, where like if you're someone who comes in and picks something up but then puts it back down in a different aisle,
Fuck those people.
yeah, they get points taken off. You know.
To be perfectly honest, yes.
So you want to just spread this point system throughout our society?
It's gatekeeping.
It's only gatekeep. If you're a shitty person who can't do the basics, can't go out in public without adhering to the very bare minimum, I'm not asking for much. I'm asking for the bare minimum. If you're at
bare
a shop,
necessities.
if you pick up the Oreos and you walk the Oreos around the
Okay,
shop.
we're still in Sainsbury's.
Yeah, fuck it. If you walk the Oreos around the shop and you're like, you know what? I've decided I don't want these Oreos anymore. I'm in the freezer section though. It's fine, and fuck them off into the freezer. You're an asshole. You deserve to go to a Sainsbury's that is reserved for people that all do that, and all of your shopping, everything frozen can be in the fucking melted hot section, and everything that isn't frozen can be in the freezers, because that's what you do to other people. Yes. Get down the front of the cinema, eat fucking melted ice cream, and enjoy your life.
I did not expect this from you.
You're only fucking yourself, because that's the thing. You're only going to do yourself out. No one else is doing you out. You're only getting done if you act up.
Here, Audio Boy's face is in his hands.
You only get done if you act up. Have you seen the news?
That sounded bad. That sounded bad. But my point being, you are like I will be in the fucking premium spot because I'm good.
Says who?
Me. I'm good at the cinema. I'm good at shops.
I'm good at the cinema.
I'm good at the shops.
You don't know that for sure.
Pubs.
You are-
I would be way.
You
I
are a
would be
problem.
out.
You
I
are a
would be- I'd be
problem. When you've had like 4 pints and you're out and about, oh god, you're a
But
menace.
you know what? Do you know what? If I could only get into the 0 point pubs, I would probably start fucking cleaning up my act.
It's true.
I would start cleaning up my act, Phil.
But then you're going to have like YouTubers who are like, we went to the 0 Point cinema for a day. Here's our experience.
Yes. Yeah. 1 million views on YouTube, and me and you are sitting here like, holy fuck, I'm going to be even better at the cinema because what I've just witnessed on YouTube is a hellscape.
Fucking, what's his name? Logan Paul goes there and there's a suicide victim just hanging from a rafter, and he videos it just be like, hey!
Whoa, look at the 0 Point cinema. I'm telling you, man, I've just fixed the cinema problem.
I had other solutions, and it wasn't the final solution before anyone asks.
We seemed like we were heading in that direction.
Here's what I'll say to what you've said. I like some of the ideas, but what has this podcast turned into?
We were fixing cinema. I think so.
I didn't even
far.
get to tell you how much Odeon costs.
Oh my god, this is the funniest thing we've ever talked about. Yeah. If you go to a supermarket and leave things in other aisles,
Yep.
you're making someone else's life who works there more difficult.
Yeah.
Here's
I.e., you're a bastard.
you're a bastard and you should be swiftly
It's the
punished.
shopping trolley thing, isn't it?
Yeah, but if you fill a shopping trolley half full and just leave it in like the bread aisle,
Well, no. Further than that, if you get a shopping trolley and you go when you finish your shop, do you put the shopping trolley back in the designated shopping trolley bits, or do you just leave it by your?
I put it where the other trolleys are.
Do you put it by the other trolleys? Yeah. Wow, look at us, all three of us, good human beings. Because there's no rule. For anyone that doesn't know this, basically, there's no rule against just leaving your shopping trolley out in the fucking car
Audio
park.
Boy is so uncomfortable.
There's no rule against it, and you are well within your rights to do it. The only thing that leaving your shopping trolley out in somewhere else that's not the designated place is someone else's life who gets paid is going to be slightly inconvenienced, right? And it is a minor inconvenience. But why would you not just do it? It's just it's a very, very black and white binary way of saying, are you a good person or are you just a little bit of a bastard?
I think the way I
think Orwell's got a lot of things to say about this.
the way I think about it or look at it is just be considerate of other people.
And if you don't, you get points docked.
And there's
you go
no point system.
You go into the hellscape.
No point system. No pictures of great glorious leaders above things.
You were the ones putting pictures of me up.
I mean, I think you're going to lead to that. You're starting with a point system. For me, it's the simplicity of just be decent to other people.
Mm-hmm.
As someone who works in the hospitality sector, I know all too well. You treat the person who's serving you well, they will treat you well. You treat them like a piece of shit, you will get terrible service. And it's the same in the cinema.
But
it's
you
customer
have
based.
both made it me feel like my idea is a bad one. If that cinema was down the road, are you telling me that you wouldn't sign up for their point system?
I mean, I'd 100% sign up for the point
Would
system.
you sign up for their point system?
I think there's nothing wrong with what's currently in place.
Even though
It's
a
not
nightmare.
working for me.
But it's not working.
I think I prefer that over the point system personally.
Why?
My
Do you tell people off in the cinema?
no,
If someone's
does
down-
not get involved in conflict.
If someone's down on their phone 2 rows in front of you, full brightness, you just watch the film like that.
Yeah, just block it out.
But that's impossible. You can't just block it out.
Well, I can.
What if they're talking very loudly?
Okay.
What if they're talking very loudly a row closer?
I just sort of slowly kick the back of their seat until I do it just sort of repeatedly, more and more intensely.
Saying that, semi-funny story. We went to see Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them.
I'm sorry.
The new one.
Crimes of Grindelwald.
Crimes of Grindelwald? I don't know if I can remember.
There's a Dumbledore's one.
Dumbledore's Army?
Dumbledore's Diddle.
I can't remember. Whatever, the latest Fantastic Beasts.
Dumbledore's anti-trans rant.
Me
Written by
Hannah-
J.K. Rowling.
Harry, you're a wizard, and you can be whatever you choose to be, as long as you're the designated gender that you were at birth.
Fuck J.K. Rowling.
What a cunt.
See, she would get 0 points.
She would get 0
automatically. She would not be allowed into. She wouldn't even be allowed into 0 point cinema.
We went to see that, and front row, we were pretty near the front row, actually. We just got bad seats, but we were there late, and it was our own fault for once. So I was going to tell a second story after this. But this group of teens came in, sat down in front of us, and instantly phones out. And like they all Snapchatted the crimes of Dumbledore,
Because they're more interested in
the social media clout. What was the name of that film? I literally can't
Could
remember.
you Google what the.
What was the third? I can do it. Anyway, they're all like, and I'm like, you know what? I'll give them that one. I get it. Whatever.
Yeah, you've seen the people like they go see Star Wars and they take the.
They do the same thing.
The Secrets of Dumbledore.
Secrets of Dumbledore. Cool.
The
So
secret
anyway,
is-
then they start talking and they're like still on their phones, and I'm like, "Hi, sorry, can you stop talking because we're trying to watch film?" And they're like, "Ugh." And they like give me this look, and I'm like, "What the fuck?" Then they're still talking, and they say there's someone going, and I'm like, "Excuse me, can you please turn your phone off? Like, I'm trying to watch the film. It's distracting." I get another like eye roll and a huff, and it was the ringleader who was directly in front of me. Chef's kiss. So I didn't care about the film.
You gave her a chef's kiss?
I've very quickly turned off that movie because it was pretty pants anyway. So my entire 2.5 hour sitting of The Secrets of Dumbledore,
2.5 hours.
it's a long film,
Jesus
was
Christ.
sat just battering this girl's scene, just kicking it, and every time I moved, I'd bang it, and I'd put my foot on it, and then I'd shake my knee, just like I'm not a jiggler. I'm not one of these people that sits and has like restless leg. I can sit perfectly.
You're not a
still.
jiggler, but you're petty.
Beyond petty, Gavin. I sat, and the beautiful thing is, she was on her phone and getting her fucking seat rocked, and her phone's shaking, and she had the audacity with her phone out to turn around and be like, and I'm like, do you not understand? What?
You're
Do
the
you not
one in the wrong.
understand? Put your phone away, and this can all end. Oh, fucking does my nutting. Right. It's been
Put your phone away. This can all end.
the second part of this episode. The second thing I want to talk about is the other reason that it's all going to shit, outside pricing and outside of it being a nightmare to go and see films, is that the at-home cinema experience has come on so far now. We are at a point where if I could pay, let's say, if what? Like at home,
I'll circle back in.
at home, I've got a fairly big TV. I've got a surround sound system. I mean, don't get me
Humble
wrong.
brag.
Humble brags. It's getting a bit old and a bit dated now, but it's still pretty good. And like me and Hannah can enjoy the cinema experience at home for all intents and purposes, and with the reclinable seats and with food being ridiculously expensive and all that kind of stuff. We can do all that. We can just lay on our couch. We can cook ourselves some homemade nachos and supermarket popcorn in the microwave. Like, we can give ourselves the experience without any of that. And I think that's the other big problem is people, and like, you know, my mum and dad have got a Kindle stick with Plexi or some fucking illegal film torrenting software.
We don't support the use of illegal torrenting of movies.
Other illegal
or
film
TV.
torrenting software is available.
Please support movies and TVs and stream appropriately.
But like, I go around to their house quite often. Dad's like, "Oh, have you seen the latest films?" And he puts up Plexi, and it's got every film. And I'm like, "Yeah, cool. That says like screen rip." And he's like, "Yeah, but the quality's fine." Clicks it, and this god awful screen rip of somebody recording it from a, you know what I mean? And I'm like,
You can see the shadows of
you can see the shadow of it, and I'm like, "You aren't watching films like this, right, Dad?" And he's like, "Oh, it doesn't bother me," because it doesn't bother him. So.
yeah, they're definitely those. Like I know those people.
There's a large portion of the public that just don't give a fuck. They would rather sit at home watching the latest films, no matter the quality, than spend £22 to go to the cinema. Sorry, I'm curious. How much was Odeon and View? What was the price breakdown on that?
The Odeon, as an adult, it ranges between $10.95 and $13.95.
Still up there. And then food and drink?
The food and drink.
I think Odeon's...
A small popcorn is between £4 and $4.50. And a drink is £3 for a small drink.
Okay, so the drinks... So you're
That
looking at
list
under 20 quid for an
updated
Odeon.
as of 2019. So it may have gone up since.
May have gone up since then, but about 20. All right, so again, about 20 quid, basically.
And,
Not
yeah.
much change.
And then, from my experience from the View, it was $8.99 for the one in the city centre, and then they don't do draft juice, which is weird. So it was like bottles of juice, I think. But and then popcorn we didn't get, but I don't think it's a lot either. I think View is like priced himself competitively as the
competitor,
lowest,
yeah.
but give.
Says here, small popcorn at View is £5.60.
Ooh.
Maybe they've not then.
Maybe that's their whole thing, is we do cheaper cinema
Cheaper
tickets and then we
bump up the food and
charge
drink.
them at the arse.
I mean, I
for
feel like there's a better way because
Drinks
just
would
I think that's a better way
Bring your own
because the
food and drink.
food and drink is an optional thing.
yeah.
but $7.49 for your VIP seat.
That's good. That is good.
Especially for the seat you get, because like with
Back on these
me,
seats.
for me, and my girlfriend, it was just like we were next to each other, but we still had enough space. And then the people next to her, there was like a bit of a gap, so there's space between you all. And then like obviously you've got the space for your legs to go up and your head to go back, so you can get fully lounged out and fall asleep in the film and not have to watch it. Because God forbid you watch a movie these days in the cinema that's good. Because I can't remember the last time I watched one that was good, apart from Top Gun Maverick.
Because that brings me, the other story I was going to tell is we went to see Smile last weekend.
Yeah.
It's not a bad film. Didn't mind it.
That's definitely one I'll watch when it comes to a streaming service.
Yeah,
which
it's a jump frighty horror, which is nice. Like I think I said that to you, didn't I?
Yeah.
And my very very quick review for anyone. It's a very jump frighty, leans heavily into it, horror movie, which isn't a bad thing because horror films nowadays are all trying to do like that psychological terror and give you.
Yeah.
This one was just like, nah, look, don't worry about it. We're just gonna. Bah! There you go. There's a jump fright for you listening. We went to see.
I think the jump
Smile.
fright was probably when you went to your fascist regime talk.
We went to see Smile, and some clerical thing had happened on the backside of the cinema, and the screen got shifted from screen 13 to screen 9, right? And then inexplicably it got shifted back, and then even more inexplicably, in the shift back, rather than just reallocate all of the seats to the original seating plan, it just randomly pot-shotted us about, right? So it kept the groupings together, but we booked the back of the cinema. Screen 13, Silverburn's not the biggest, so we went pretty far back, maybe 2 rows down from the very back wall. And we turn up, and they're like, "Oh, you're in row B," and we're like, "No, we're like K." He's like, "No, he explains the whole thing, and we get put in row
Which
B."
Paul had to do like 13 more times.
Oh, I know. God bless him. So we walk into the cinema and like the screen, and I look, without even sitting down, I just turn and I look at the screen, and standing, I'm like quaking my neck back at a 90-degree angle, and I'm like, I'm gonna go say something to them.
It's like, this is not happening.
Like Jamie.
I would like the bubble zone, please.
Jamie was like, "Oh, bloody full Karen mode," and I was like, "I'm not a Karen, right? And anyone that works in retail, if I do ever have a complaint, I'm not gonna get angry at you. I'm not gonna be annoyed at you because it's not your problem. You haven't done anything wrong." So I walk out explaining. He's like, "Look, I'm really sorry," and I'm like, "No, it's fine. It's not your fault. It's a computer thing." Like, how is it a full house? Is it a fully sold screen though? Because we just sit anywhere else, and he's like, "It is fully sold out." I'm like, ugh. I was like, "I'd say, well, we'll just go sit, and if the film starts, we'll move around." So we go back, we sit through the trailers, and from the trailers, and this is another part of it, like those seats they're pointless. They're not. Why do they even have them?
I feel anytime I see people in that close of a proximity to the screen, it's an older person.
Yeah.
Because their body's already dead to them. So having your neck cocked like that isn't going to be an issue. And so you need to be as close as possible to see anything.
But because the reason I had a bigger problem, not bigger problem, but the reason I was struggling is I watched the 5 trailers that were specially chosen for us, the horror trailers and whatnot. And sitting that close, not even the very front row B, one back, I wasn't even absorbing what was happening on the screen because I was so close.
Things outside of your peripheral.
Things outside my peripheral vision. I was looking at this and then something would happen here and my eyes would dart. And by the time they got back to the other side, I'd be like, well, I've just... Like, I couldn't. Not even... I'm not exaggerating this. I physically couldn't watch the film. Why do those seats exist?
I think...
Accessibility. Old people and people that can't go upstairs.
I mean, like, fine. I understand. I understand why the seats exist. Why would they not just push it further back and have a smaller screen?
Because then you can't fit as many people in.
Oh, it's just fucking nonsense.
They got to make their money.
The interesting thing, and
It's fucked.
it was something I realised when it came to view, was the screen I was in for view, it was laid out in a way of like, here's a comfortable laying of seats for everyone, and here's a comfortable space for everyone to then enjoy the screen. They've built it as in, this is a cinema, so we want the cinema experience to be good. Whereas somewhere like the Weatherspoons of Cinema Cineworld is built on, let's get as many human bodies in this room as
cram 'em
possible,
in, get our money.
regardless of where they are and if they can see the screen.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of it just comes down to the people in charge and do they care about the cinema. And that's why I love the hypocrisy of when we went back to the cinemas and they've got this little spliced together thing of just like speaking to celebrities about, why do you like the cinema? And all the celebrities are sitting down in a dark room with someone and your popcorn and you all enjoy the experience. Like, yeah, but you go to like a screener that's like built, it's like
filled with 30 people who are all there with the express intent of watching a movie.
and they must laugh and applaud at all of your best moments. It's just like, yeah, sure, you love going to the cinema. I'm sure this...
But it's not. But they're not wrong. Like, and this is what I was saying. So at home we have fundamentally a cinema experience, right? We have that experience. We can crank it up, the bass. We got a subwoofer. Yeah. We got the full whack.
Bass.
But it's not the cinema experience because there is something magical. And I distinctly remember some of my all-time favorite moments sitting in a cinema screen. The end of Infinity War. Which one was first?
Infinity War, yeah.
Infinity War. The end of Infinity War, where there was just
that moment
of silence, and everyone collectively breathed out. Holy shit!
It's an incredible moment that it was somehow recreated throughout cinemas, because I had the exact same moment of just like the film ends, there's just that breath of silence.
And then the Avengers will return,
and everyone just kind of goes,
"What the
holy
fuck?"
shit! And everyone turns to their friends, and
then moving on from that, there's nothing better than sitting in a cinema in a genuinely funny movie. And don't get me wrong, my tastes have changed, but sitting in the Step Brothers screening on week 1 of that film launching, and Borat as well, actually, and sitting in an entire cinema that is uproariously laughing, like not just me and my closest mate, but an entire room full of people that are all belly laughing. It's an incredible experience. And I want those experiences back. Like and that's why, although you're laughing about it, like really my solution, my great solution, it's not genuinely, I know it's a bit like on the nose, but genuinely, all I really want from that is that bubble, that perfect bubble in the middle of people that are all going to enjoy the film and experience it and this may sound very gatekeeping, but experience it the correct way. And that's because that experience is like nothing else. That cinema experience it's phenomenal. It's breathtaking. It is magic. It is actual genuine cinema magic.
Rather than rib on you more for your idea, I'll bring in my thoughts, which is, for me, when you said let's create a movie podcast, I was like, yes, because one of the greatest things in my life is movies. I love movies. Movies have done so much for me in terms of like helping with my mental health and just making me more creative and excited.
You love movies.
I love movies so much.
I walked in on Gav once trying to have sex with his DVD of Weird Science.
I got a weird like cut up it, and it was like now it shifts left a bit wonky like. But it's just like, for me, especially before COVID, I would go to the cinema like 3 or 4 times a week.
Yeah.
Like going to the cinema was like it was like
your mecca.
It was like going to church for me. Like I'm going to church because I'm going to the cinema, I'm going to sit and the lights are going to go down, and whether I'm with friends or I'm with people I don't know and we share that experience. But it's not only the sharing experience that I love when you watch a movie like Into the Spider-Verse, and the whole cinema is like laughing and crying together as one because that movie is just so special. It's also the kind of solo experience, like when I, not solo a Star Wars story, but when I went to see like Blade Runner, for example, and that for me was a very personal solo experience because I saw it 3 times, and each time it was more magical for me, and just experiencing it, and I just love that time.
Yeah.
Being by yourself sometimes, because I like going to the cinema by myself, because, you know, sometimes...
Nothing wrong with it.
Nothing
Preaching
wrong
to the
with
choir
it.
there.
And it's just like shutting off from everything else, and your responsibility, your time, your experience is the film in front of you, and sharing in what the director, the filmmaker, the actors, everyone involved, the magic they've given to you, and you just getting to take it in. When people come in and try to ruin that, I want them to not be around.
Yeah.
I want them to go away. And so that's why post-COVID, the experience of the cinema has been so bad that I don't go to the cinemas much anymore, and I wait to watch it at home because I know that I can sit on that couch that you're on, Gary. I can close those curtains. I can turn on that TV and go into a streaming service like Now TV, Netflix, Prime. That all at this point are pretty good at getting the movie within like
really quickly.
pretty quickly, and then I can just sit there and I can take the film in and I can enjoy it and I can have that solo kind of wonderful experience. But I miss the come together experience of an Infinity War, or like seeing Dunkirk, for example, was a great shared experience in the cinema. Those shared experiences I miss, and I want them to come back. I want the cinema to succeed. I want the cinema experience to succeed. But currently, because of the lack of films, because of the lack of interest from people, and because of the high pricing, it's just not something that's working right now. Yeah. And I don't know if it's going to work again anytime soon, because the cost of living is going up. We have a government that's fucking dog shit. And we have companies that are going to go bankrupt because they can't afford to stay open, like Cineworld, for example, which could be one of them.
Like we were saying, people that do genuinely love cinema have now, because of the 3-year hiatus of cinema, have their own setups at home.
Yeah,
like,
we've all built them now because we needed them.
Because you wanted them, because you wanted that same
We all
thing.
wanted to watch Zack Snyder's Justice League 4-hour wank off in our houses.
It was better than the basic Justice League film.
It was still dog shit awful.
Still not great, but it was a better experience.
It's just a massive piece of shit. If you're a person who supports Zack Snyder's Justice League, tweet me at MeanderingPod and tell me why, because I want to have a conversation with you. Jump into those DMs if you need to.
But yeah, I think if you wrap there, I got pretty heated. I'm sorry for anyone.
I cried with laughter. This was all good fun. We're just having a laugh about the cinema. We both just shared there. We love the films. We love the cinemas. We want them to succeed. It was all just a bit of fun. None of us are fascists. We all hate J.K. Rowling. That's the summary of this episode.
Support independent cinemas.
Support independent cinemas. Support cinema. That's like just support cinema.
Mr. Cineworld, if you are listening, hit us up. We've got your solutions. Not the crazy one I've just pitched, but we have an actual. We can fix your cinema problem. Just let us know.
Just like we can fix the Oscars, we can fix Cineworld.
And that brings us to Mr. Cineworld. Where can Mr. Cineworld get in touch with us?
So if you want to get in touch with us, you can jump down into the description. There are links to all our social medias. We have Twitter, we have Instagram, we have Facebook, we have Gmail.
Genuinely, Twitter's probably the best one. We're actually making an effort on Twitter now. If you've not noticed, we're making strides to be in the Twitter
active
sphere.
On a daily basis on Twitter. So that's at MeanderingPod. Follow us there. You can send us messages through DM or tweet us with like topic suggestions, thoughts on the episode. I'm sure you'll have thoughts on this episode, and just general things you want to talk about. And there's also a competition that we're going to run at some point where you have to send pictures of what Gary and I look like, what was it like? What's your favorite Pokemon? Tell us what your favorite Pokemon is. So please get in touch with us, make a conversation. Let's have a conversation. We're excited to have a conversation.
We want to hear from you,
and let's just talk about movies because movies are great.
And I'm back on Twitch. So if you want to come and watch me play video games and chat shit, twitch.tv/GWARIO. Guario. But yeah, thanks so much for listening, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be back with another episode pretty soon because we're just about to record it. So thank you very much. It's been great today. I've actually thoroughly enjoyed myself.
I cried with laughter, so this has been fun.
Have a great one, and we'll see you soon. Goodbye.
Music is life.
Bye.
It's meandering movies. It's meandering movies. It's meandering movies. So won't you lend an ear?